Be always acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. Please be seated. First things first. Put somewhere down here. I know you thought I was going to put it at the top. I don't like being at the top, actually. Insurance companies are very suggestive that we should inventory everything in our homes. That's in case of disaster. Have you ever done that? I mean, not just the things that might monetarily be important to the insurance company, but even those things that are simply, well, stuff that you have a heartfelt desire not to lose. Even if you sat for just a moment and began to think about your home and started making a list of those things that you would want to put on the insurance company list or on an inventory. Wow. There's a lot of stuff, isn't there? There's that whole collection of LPs and 45s in the basement that could be worth a lot of money, but I don't even have the equipment to play them anymore. And then, well, there's those Christmas ornaments, the ones the kids made when they were growing up. And that's just 2 things in one room in the basement. That doesn't count everything else that's in that room. If we go upstairs, well, gosh, if this were at home, this is a one-of-a-kind cross that was made when I was consecrated. There is no other cross like it. I really wouldn't want to lose this. And because there's no other cross like it, it's probably priceless. Because I don't know if the guy who made it even kept them all. Well, then there's the car. The good news about the car is it's not mine. Not really. It's actually yours. It's the diocesan car. It's your car. I keep the keys. But it's your car. But I'm pretty attached to it. At least for the life of the lease. And then I get attached to another one. But I don't like it when a pebble comes up and hits the windshield. It hurts my car. Then there's the money in the bank. Pretty protective of the money in the bank, too. There's lots of people out there that want it. Some legally. Some not. The retirement's coming. I'm going to need some of that money. And then there's this morning's gospel. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and to God what belongs to God. Well, if we just went by all those things that I listed on my list, and believe me, that's only the first 5 lines of 100 pages or so of things that I own. What on that list belongs to God? All of it. Does that mean I have to? But God, you don't need this, do you? Is that what the gospel is about? Do I have to wash the car once a week for God? Do I have to fix the dings in the windshield before I trade it in because God's going to be upset if I don't? Do I have to simply ignore what I own? Do I have to give it all to God? What belongs to Caesar in that? Well, the government. The money? Well, if Ben Franklin wants his money, he can come get it. It's my daring. I don't have many of those. Franklins, that is. What about all that stuff? What was Jesus really saying? Well, one of the things that strikes me about all this is we're very quick to say, my car, my house, my cross, my ring, my ornaments, my. Sometimes it might be our, if you have a significant other, but it's ours. You can't have it. This is mine. When you go to the grave, how much of it can you take with you? None. Simply and directly, Jesus is saying, let go. You can't take it with you. Why are you hanging on to it now? Now, I know we have to take care of our homes. Whatever our home is, a house, an apartment, trailer, whatever it is, we have to take care of it. We have to live there. We need to be comfortable. We don't need to be extravagant, but we need to be careful. We need to be comfortable. We need to live. But what God is calling for us to do is live simply, easily, and not hold on to anything as if that thing or those things were our life. If we could let go, I mean really let go, and have a sense that things don't matter, we would have a lot more space for God. Strangely enough, we're getting close to a season I'm sure you don't want me to bring up because it's not that many weeks away. But we're getting close to a season where there's a story of two people riding through the countryside. One of them's pregnant. They arrive in a town, and there's no room for them in the inn. You know what story I'm talking about? You with me? Now, much has been made of that innkeeper and the way in which he turned them away, and of course what happened, and there's this little baby, and angels, and shepherds, and gifts, and the whole world religion, and all that stuff. But it's also about understanding what you have, what is yours, and what is God's. I suspect had that innkeeper understood that it's all God's, the innkeeper could have found even a corner, a small space in a corner of a room, perhaps his own room, where a mother could give birth to her child and be warm and welcome and wanted. Stuff gets in the way. Stuff makes us an innkeeper of our stuff. It makes us want to hold on to it such that there isn't even a corner for anyone else to be there. And we think that we're smart enough to know that, there's no room for another person there. there's always room for God. Doesn't the scripture say that something about, oh, you fool, you're holding on to all of this, and tonight your life is going to be asked of you. How come you're saving it up? Loose translation. Stuff makes us an innkeeper of our stuff. And when the infant Jesus, the grown Jesus, the resurrected Jesus, wants to be in our lives, there's no space. We think there is. Oh, we made space, we're here. It's Sunday morning, I'm here. Good for you. Where's Jesus going to be this afternoon? Where's Jesus going to be tomorrow? Where's Jesus going to be Friday? I hope he's at convention. But you know how he gets there? We bring him. And we can't bring him if we have no space. And there won't be any space if we insist on holding on to all our stuff. And this is not a gospel that suggests that we all have to go home and clean out every room and take it and give it away. That would be silly. But we do have to learn to live simply. You know, do we need to own those dust-catching things? Whatever it is in your house. I know what the dust catchers are in my house. I own a zillion of them. Baseball caps. Every time I come home with a new one, my wife's going to kill me. I came home recently from Taiwan with a new one, but I didn't buy it, I swear. It was given to me, honestly. I didn't buy this one. And of course she looked over her glasses at me like, sure you did. I said, everybody got one. Where are you going to put this one? Where I put all the others. Someplace where it can collect dust. Oh, I'd be devastated if something happened to my hats. I guess I need to let go of them. I'm not going to go home and give them away. But my heart needs to not own them so closely. We all have things like that. All of us. Something large, something small, something major, something silly. Every year when we take our ornaments out for the Christmas tree, I want to get rid of some of this stuff. But then you start telling the stories. And suddenly this crusty old, rusty old, twisted old, partially broken ornament means something. And yet God says, okay, but is there room for me in that story? Give to God what belongs to God, and to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Give God your heart, your soul, your mind, your strength. And you will be filled and given life eternal. Seems to me we want room for that.